welcome to Castle Combe. Coming up, we've got round 3 of the Lotus Cup UK. But first, we've got coverage from Brands Hatch with round 2 of the Elise Trophy. Hi, we're here for the first Elise Trophy race of the day with a full grid. All the qualifying times were close. Let's expect a tight and action-packed race.
Huge grid, huge crowd then supporting the DTM here on the Brands Hatch circuit. Rob Boston in pole position, Andrew Bentley alongside the front row of the grid. Red lights on, out they go, and away goes the field. It's a good start from Rob Boston. Andrew Bentley's also got away well, so has the second row of Craig Denman and Tom Roche. Further back, there's contact, and around we go. It's David Hay who's gone off and into the barriers, so Hay makes contact with the Armco. It was John Lemaster, I think he tagged. There's more dust being kicked up on the way into Paddock Hill Bend, and cars spinning round at the bottom of the corner as well. And carnage, there's loads of people off. John Lemaster, that's the top Paddock Hill Bend, has been involved. So has Paul Baker and Steve Quick as well. So real disappointment in the early stage of the race. Seth Walpole also has been caught up in that. Let's have a look at the replay. Well, the front 3 rows get away pretty well, and then further back it's a slowish start from Ken Savage, and he just gets sandwiches by Lemaster and Hay. And Lemaster, as he rotates back into traffic, tags Steve Quick and the rest of them, whereas David Hay makes good friends with the Armco barrier. His race over very, very shortly. Now this top angle may give us a better view. Yes, the front 3 rows move away, then row 4 gets off as one. They swamp Ken Savage, the slightest of contacts. It was John Lemaster moving across. He then tagged Ken Savage and Steve Quick out of the race. Paul Baker left with nowhere to go, so several cars caught up in that, and the safety car, perhaps unsurprisingly, the inevitable consequence. All the while though, it's Rob Boston who is leading the way at the front of the field. The rest of the pack just forming up into line behind the safety car. Unfortunately, already a good chunk of the race is ticking away from them, and this really the opportunity for the drivers to shine in front of a large crowd. Jake Hodson also sporting damage in the 41 Cup. The lights out on the safety car. The action about to get underway with Boston leading it, with Bentley in second, Craig Devon third, Tom Roche in fourth, Steve Guglielmi in fifth, and Adam Busey in 6th position. As that's a brilliant restart from Rob Boston. He's already got the jump on Andrew Bentley, who's busy having to defend from Craig Denman. Denman swarming all over him. Also Steve Guglielmi moving to the inside of Tom Roche. Guglielmi and Roche, both former one-mate champions in different categories. Guglielmi in TVR Tuscans and Tom Roche in Mazda MX-5s as the field climb up towards Druids. This restart slightly more restrained compared to the start of the race, but all the while though Rob Boston is pulling away from Andrew Bentley. And then it's this group of 8 cars fighting over second position. Ken Savage in the bright yellow car, he was involved in that early incident, but he seems to be running without problems as Denman is right onto the tail of Bentley. Has to take a defensive line already through Surtees and then make sure he's tight to the inside of clearways, lest Craig Denman be able to try and find his way past him. Also Nigel Hannam in the 59 car showing very well in these early stages. It's a good performance from Hannam. Adam Knight as well at number 15. He is coming under pressure from Ken Savage at the back of your shot, whereas at the head of the field Denman has gone through past Andrew Bentley, and Bentley now under real pressure from Guglielmi, who slides the inside. It's a super move through Paddock Hill Bend from Steve Guglielmi, so he moves himself up into 3rd position. Will he hold it on the race towards Druids? Well, Bentley is hot around the outside, and can Bentley keep his foot in? Well, he does, but he runs out of road, so Guglielmi finally makes the move, sticking all the while though. In 5th position we've got Tom Roche, just holding watching brief, hooking his green machine over the curbs at Graham Hill Bend. That really propels him to a good exit, and he draws alongside Andrew Bentley now as they come into Surtees around the outside. Brilliant driving from Roche to claim 4th position from Andrew Bentley. It's been a wretched lap from Bentley, 2nd to 5th in the blink of an eye, and then that slight gap back to 6th place to Adam Busey. He's got Ken Savage right on his tail in 7th, so Savage has made his way past Adam Knight, and Knight has now got Nigel Hannam for company as they come through and over the line, and it's 2.5 seconds almost the advantage from Boston to Denman, and then Denman's got Guglielmi just a 10th of a second back from him. Also going well is Matthias Redstock as well. He rounds out the top 10. You can just see him back of the shot coming down through Paddock Hill Bend. It's this fight for second position which is captivating the large crowds here at Brands Hatch. Some really close action from Lotus on Track Elise Trophy, as really we see in each and every race through the course of the season, but this is turning into a particular thriller. If you discount the race leader Rob Boston, because he has pulled the pin and disappeared, helped very much by this frenetic fight for second, with Denman sliding the car through Surtees. He's then got right onto his tail, Guglielmi and Tom Roche. Andrew Bentley is trying as he can to stay in touch in 5th position, but this is a slightly muted performance from the man who was second on the grid. But now Savage has got a good run here on Adam Busey. The pair of them side by side as they accelerate along the Bramham Straight over the line, and 6th place on the line just to Ken Savage. Will he be able to hold that through Paddock Hill Bend? Yes, he does, but it's bringing Adam Knight and Nigel Hannon back into the mix as well. So those 4 cars running much more closely together. So these 4 drivers fighting for 2nd position, but it's Denman who's got the advantage. Craig Denman always seems to go well here at Brands Hatch, and he is trying to put a little bit of daylight between himself and Steve Guglielmi, which he's doing at the moment. Guglielmi still got Tom Roche right on his tail, and Andrew Bentley still just struggling to stay in touch, I'd venture, with the 3 cars fighting ahead of him as Roche makes the move on Guglielmi. Through he goes, up into 3rd place at Clearways, and I just wonder whether Steve Guglielmi let him have that. And now Guglielmi is going to take advantage of the slipstream along the Bramham Straight. He gets right up under the rear spoiler of Tom Roche as they accelerate out of Clark Curve over the start and finish line. 9 laps consigned to the history books, and here's Boston from Denman, Roche and Guglielmi. It's the Roche and Guglielmi battle that's probably the closest in the top 5 at the moment, although Tom Roche equally is seeing what he can do about closing up onto the tail of Craig Denman. He already brings that gap down. A replay of the cars sliding through Surtees and then the move into Clearways from Tom Roche. I wish it wasn't in the commentary box, so I'd rather be out on track in one of these Lotus Elises. It looks like enormously good fun and some very, very close action, although adventures further back from Simon Oakley. He rotates around in front of the field. He rejoins. No harm done there, though, for him. So Denman still 2nd place with Roche right on his tail. And now Tom Roche really beginning to ramp up the pressure. He's going for the move up the hill into Druids. It's good defensive driving, though, from Craig Denman. He leaves less than the Lotus Elise width to the inside, so there's no way through for Tom Roche. But as the pair of them battle, you can see getting closer is Guglielmi, and it's a big lose from Bentley into the barriers, and that's a very nasty accident for Andrew Bentley. He lost it on the exit of Druids and finished his accident at Graham Hill Bend. I hope he's okay. It's a heavy, heavy frontal impact for Andrew Bentley. So now it is 3 of them fighting for the last 2 spots on the podium. And yes, delighted to see Andrew Bentley out of the car and walking away. His vehicle still smoulders, as I'd imagine, does Andrew Bentley's temper. He is fuming after that incident. Perhaps unsurprisingly, 2nd on the grid. He'd have expected more, quite rightly. The doctors checking him over. Meanwhile, it's Rob Boston who still leads the race. Craig Denman 2nd, Guglielmi in 3rd, and Tom Roche in 4th. So Roche has slipped down behind Guglielmi, but he's trying to find his way back up through the order. They are about to put the lap on Sid Sadiq in the number 2 car, which they're able to do without too many problems through draws, though it does just put that gap to Ken Savage, and still the steam pouring from Andrew Bentley's car. Right, let's analyse it. He just runs out over the rumble strip, the car wags its tail and then into the barriers, and that is a ferocious impact for Andrew Bentley. And the worst thing is, Bentley would have known that he was going nowhere but the tyres for about 3 seconds before it actually happened. Unusual to see car just having that tank snapper that much, as now Roche moves back into 3rd position. Inside move into Paddock Hill Bend, the textbook passing move into Paddock from Tom Roche. There are casualties all over the circuit now, unfortunately, as Neil Stotter has pulled off on the run towards Druids. It's been one of those races, the drivers putting on a fantastic show, but they really are leaving very little margin for error as this group now really joins itself up into Graham Hill Bend. Then Adam Knight a little bit lonely as it's Adam Busey now who blinks next, and Busey rotates at Graham Hill Bend. He's going to rejoin behind Knight, so he's only actually lost 1 place off that. Another spin, and that's Mateusz Radstock in the 32 car. Will he find first gear? Should do, yeah. And I just wonder if he did that on the fluid that was pouring from the front of Andrew Bentley's car. Here's a replay of Adam Busey's spin. No excuses there for Busey, just over ambition into Graham Hill Bend, the rear of the car overtaking the front, and then Mateusz Radstock, similar thing, just pushing too hard. Jake Hodson, damage he incurred in that first lap incident, now just beginning to rub against the tyre. Another view of Radstock's rotation. Again, he did very well to get that stopped and in gear as quickly as he did. Into the final lap of the race, though, and it's side by side for third up into Druids, and that's a good move from Guglielmi, so he goes back ahead of Tom Roche. So Boston leads it. Denman's now broken away in second, and really the fight is the one for third position into Graham Hill Bend for the final time. And Guglielmi's got the advantage though. Bouncing over the curbs is Rob Boston's. Tom Roche rather. It's Rob Boston who bounced over the curbs at Surtees, and now he comes out of Clark Curve for the final time. The clock has ticked to 0. The checkered flag is out. It's ready and waiting, and it's going to be a superb victory here in the DTM support race in the Lotus on Track Elise Trophy for Rob Boston. Second place should go to Craig Denman. All about third. Drag race to the line coming on here. And will Roche have enough momentum to pull out the slipstream behind Guglielmi? He doesn't. So Steve Guglielmi takes third, Tom Roche fourth, and then Ken Savage an excellent fifth position after all his adventures. The crowd showing their appreciation to Rob Boston as he tours around into Parc Fermé, and this is how they classified with a win for Boston. Second place to Craig Denman, third place Steve Guglielmi, fourth place Tom Roche, Ken Savage fifth, Adam Busey despite the spin in sixth, Adam Knight seventh, Nigel Hanlon eighth, Lee Hodson rounding out the top 10 just behind Michael Duke, who finished in ninth position. Mateus Radstock after that spin, he finished 11th. Jose Palazon, well done to him, in 12th. Will Price 13th, Simon Dowker 14th, Matt Collins 15th, Neil Lisey a little bit lower than I thought in 16th position, Simon Oakley 17th, Sid Sadiq 18th, Dave Carr and Paul Baker, and then we start getting in to the list of casualties, unfortunately. Andrew Bentley, glad to see him walk away from that big incident, and of course all those drivers we lost before they even reached the first corner.
Hi Rob, great result for you then, the first Elise Trophy race. Are you hopeful for the second one today?
Yeah, it was a good race. Made a break from the start. Looked like carnage behind me. So yeah, I was quite happy to make the break. It was safety car on the first lap. So yeah, I suppose the main job I had to do was make a good restart, and that went to plan as well. So yeah, I was lucky to sort of get away without any scuffs really. Just get my head down and get away.